Welcome to the video. This is my 2006 Kawasaki KDX200, last year in production. I had bought this bike for my dad years ago. It had estimated around 10 original hours on it. We had only ridden it a few times and then it sat in storage inside the barn since. I recently sold my main trail bike, the KTM 300 XCW, and it's time to go back in time, dig this dinosaur out of retirement, and start having some fun on this amazing machine. So let's get her cleaned up, throw some parts on her, and have some fun. I'll have links in the description for some of the tools and parts that I use. I've had this Tusk tire changing stand for a number of years now, and it has been an absolute game changer. Really small investment, save your back, save your knees. It really helps to get it up off the ground. I'm going to be using the Bridgestone ultra heavy duty tubes in the front and rear on this bike. In the future, I might get a designated wheel set for hard enduro with a Lucioli in the rear, but these Bridgestone tubes are of really good quality and I definitely recommend. This stand is designed so that you can put your feet on the base to get extra leverage. But remember, if you're struggling too hard, you are not doing something right, especially with normal tubes. Keep the opposing bead in the drop center, take little bites, and slowly work the tire over the lip. I went ahead and deleted the odometer cable for now. It sticks out super far, is liable to get hung up on something, but I might have a really cool vintage part coming in the mail and we'll have to reinstall the cable. Well, she's alive. Thankfully, the last ride that we did on this bike, it had ethanol-free gas in it. That and the premix also helps. But this bike hasn't been started in a couple of years. And sure enough, fired up first kick. So are we gonna head out on a ride or what? Unfortunately, not yet, but when we do, I'll be using onX Offroad. Guys, onX Offroad is the go-to app for all things on 2 wheels, 4 wheels, whatever your discipline is. Think of this as your Apple Maps or Google Maps of the off-road. You can even do turn-by-turn navigation within the app. So not only does this allow you to find new riding areas, you can also plan your route beforehand, share routes with friends and family. There's a layering system that you can toggle different features on and off. What I like to look at is the difficulty rating for trails. I'm looking for the more technical stuff. Another big feature that we use, especially when we're out west, is being able to see the land boundaries. So the public to private designations. I can't count the number of times we've been out trail riding and then end up on private property. So with onX, you can also pre-download the region before you go out and ride there. That way, if you lose signal, you can still track yourself using the built-in GPS in your smartphone. We've definitely been in some interesting situations, to say the least. And just with a quick stop, you can pull out your phone, make sure you are where you're supposed to be. And it's really just a peace of mind to have. I also always recommend carrying a paper map, especially if you're way out there in a remote area. You definitely don't want to rely 100% on electronics. But as far as the planning, preparation, this is really an invaluable tool. And as years go on, we're just getting more and more incredible features. If you're an outdoor enthusiast and you haven't tried any form of onX yet for that matter, I highly recommend it. So I do have a coupon code for you to use ADV20, all lowercase, saves you 20% on a membership. Be sure to check it out. I promise you, you won't regret it.
Got the molecule flags on there. My first RSC lever, and it's on a freaking KDX. Hilarious. It was actually supposed to go on the 450X, but the fate of this bike is to be determined. But huge shout out to Mike and the Taco Moto crew. Hooked it up with the RSC. Basically, it makes the pull really light and adjusts the leverage. There's two different positions underneath. You can't see it from here, but it just makes it buttery smooth. I thought about stripping the anodizing on this, but I don't know. The red is kind of growing on me. Pretty random. For the front, I've been thinking about what I want to do. I absolutely love the vintage look, but this light is absolutely useless. And I have a couple of these Baja Designs headlights lying around, the Squadron Sports, and I have the rectifier. I forgot that I accidentally paid more for the AC version. And I also have a black one. The black one is on the Stark right now, but I think I'm going to get rid of the Stark as well. I know, this is just a reoccurring thing on the channel since its inception, so it is what it is. But I'm thinking black headlight shroud with a black KX250 round front fender from like an 04 bike. I think the front end would look sick with that setup. And then, got too many bikes in the way. Seat cover is a must. I hate this cover. Least favorite KDX seat cover. It's slick, it's hideous, and it'll get rid of a lot of the green too. We're gonna hit up my Florida boy, Enjoy Manufacturing. He'll probably hook it up with a ribbed all black seat cover for this. You only have green or white shrouds. Damn, yes, I'm sick. As a dog, I was trying to limit the green. I've got a spare set of these and a spare set of shrouds. I don't know whether I got a rear fender or not, to be determined. I thought I had a front. I don't even know where the stuff is. I just realized there's a bin over here. Oh, it's covered with exhausts and random skid plates. Oh, there is a fender. Sick. For those of you that didn't see my final wrap-up video with my 2024 KTM 300 XCW, this is the replacement bike. And yeah, I'm just super fired up on this. I've been sleeping on it for a while. I don't know what took me so long to find interest. I think it's the nostalgia, the cheapness. Dude, you can find these things for $3,000 or less all day long. I think we're at 16 hours now. It's a freaking brand new bike. That also fires me up a little bit. And then I'm like, man, should I keep it nice? No, dirt bikes are meant to be ridden. But yeah, I'm super stoked with how the handlebar setup is turning out. I think I've made up my mind to do the whole black front end with the Baja light. Dude, there is so much room in between the shroud and the forks. Let me know what I should put there. Some people are saying they're putting quarts of 2-cycle oil, a couple water bottles. I thought about putting a bar bag and just finding a longer one that goes down in there. I think I will do the Trail Tech Vapor or the Endurance, one of those models. I would like to know my speed because I'm gonna dual sport the hell out of this thing. It's got 6 speeds, super wide ratio, does pretty good on the street, and this is just gonna be like my one freaking do-it-all bike. This is gonna be my go-to for a while. Hold your breath. Yeah, the RSC got this thing adjusted nice. Oh, the pull is amazing. I would say it's about on par with the hydraulic clutch on the KTM. Pretty sick. I love a clean handlebar setup. I bought these bars for $30 at Iron Pony years ago. They're Blade. China! Literally never heard of this company, but they're CR high bend, one of my favorite bends as a taller guy. Yeah, I can't wait to get some more parts on here, but honestly, the bike is good as is. As far as tire setup, we have the 216 MX version, and it's a 140. For the rear. They make an SX, which is the gummy. This is actually a DOT tire, and for me, I think this is going to be the perfect option. I bought it by accident. I wanted the gummy version, but now that I'm going to kind of dual sport this thing a little bit and be on the road now and then, it might be the perfect balance. Brand new O-ring chain on there. In the front, I just put on the Shinko. This is a 216 MX. This is the Fatty, the cheater. This is a 90, 100, 21. This is like the go-to Enduro tire. They last a long time. The front tires always last pretty long. They say rotational. I probably should have flipped it. The pattern looks definitely flippable, but we'll run this thing till it gets bald or gets sketchy. I do have the stock pipe on here. I have a full FMF system that's just been sitting on the shelf. I don't know how I feel about getting rid of the stock, man. It's nice and quiet. This is a stealth bike. Let me know your thoughts about the KDX200 down below. Do you like the bike? Do you dislike it? What should I do to the bike? Let me know some suggestions. If you have some parts laying around, definitely welcome. Send me an email. Parts for these bikes, they're not hard to find per se, but this has been discontinued for 20 years now. Sounds absolutely insane to say that. I would have been in 6th grade. With the black front end, this bike would look killer with some black wheels. I really don't want to spend the money. I did the full W setup on the 250F, full coated hubs, spokes, nipples, the whole nine. That was like $1,200 with a discount. I think we might just do budget spec. I've never done a DIY wheel build. Maybe break the wheels down in the winter, get the hubs powder coated. Let me know your thoughts on that. I think it would look sick with black wheels. There's a company, Hyde, that makes black frame guards. We're definitely going to get a set of those. One thing that I don't like about the bike is this kickstand. It works really well, but damn does this thing stick out far. I mean, look at that. You could stack another swing arm on there. It is pretty vulnerable, and I do want to use this as a hard enduro bike, so might just take this off and have to find a tree. We're taking this thing to Yellowbush next week, and we're going to do a whole lot of riding on this. But I got to go to bed. It's like 11 o'clock right now. I'm still pretty sick. I need sleep. We'll see you in the next clip. What's going on, you guys? It is the next day. I just got all of this stuff off of the KDX bin. Took a look inside, and oh my, did I forget what I had. So I told you I had the FMF, so it's a Turbine Core 2. I didn't realize that the side panels I bought are green. That is sick. We'll definitely be throwing those on there. So I literally have a full set. For some reason, I thought I only had a couple odds and ends, but no, I have a full replacement set, rear fender and all, and I have radiator guards. Unfortunately, they make an extreme model of these that has better bracing, so I don't know if I'm just going to try to sell these and then get the ones that I really want, but that's crazy. The stuff's been sitting around forever. Completely forgot what I had. I knew I had this skid plate. Unfortunately... Oh, I got a sprocket too. Unfortunately, I don't know where the hardware is, or maybe it's in this. Blah, blah, blah. The skid plate looks like an absolute joke, but I guess for now, until I get the SXS, which is what I'm after, this will have to do. But man, I popped that open and I was stoked. I had no idea what I had. That's hilarious. That is literally how long it's been since the KDX has gotten any love.
So I went ahead and mocked everything up, test fit the headlight. I've got a waterproof connector kit, doubles and singles that I've had for a while now. It's really nice to have around. The Baja Squadron Sport, while it is on the expensive side, the output and just the quality of the housing, it's really good stuff and it's gonna last.
Alrighty guys, so for those of you curious, here is the AC to DC rectifier that ties into the original headlight wiring. Over here is the switch wiring, and the yellow up here is actually the hot, and this runs directly to the stator. At first I wasn't getting the same voltage to this hot wire as I was to this main wire, but I already tested it and it works, so I'll fire it up and show you what it looks like. And I had to take the rear bulb out, and I'm gonna have to get an LED to replace it because it causes the lights to flicker. Yeah, buddy. Now we got a super bright headlight. Hopefully I can find the correct replacement LED. It looks pretty similar to automotive, so any part store should have it. And we will be set as far as lighting. Now I do have a plate for it, but this is as far as I'm gonna go as far as street legal. I'm not gonna do the DC conversion yet. I might do it someday. It depends on how much I actually find myself on the road, but I can do that down the line if I really need to. For me, that's the bare minimum to get by and just use hand signals and common sense. I'm not gonna be blasting down the main interstate on this bike. I'm gonna get this thing mounted. I might have to zip tie some of these wires. There's some extra length. But there are so many places to mount things on these stock triple clamps, so I'm going to mount the rectifier down there in the bottom. It's actually a perfect fit right under the headlight, so it actually came out super clean. And I did go ahead and order the UFO black front fender, so we're gonna have a whole black front end. We're gonna do the black seat cover like I said. I do have the green shrouds. We'll see how it looks, and I am gonna have my buddy Nick over at Urbex Cross do a graphics kit for this. He actually made me a full custom kit for the KTM, which I never ended up following through with. Nick knows that's kind of a common trend with how I operate, but I want my dude's artwork on a bike that I have, so this is gonna be the one. But like I said, I'm taking this thing to Yellowbush, and I'll probably have it out in the dark, so I wanted to get this headlight done last second. Pretty stoked.
Another thing on the maintenance list, this bike has been creating a lot of spooge, or unburnt oil. And oddly enough, the stock silencer has a drain bolt on it. I've never seen that before. So I fired the bike up, took it out for a few laps to get it good and hot. I was really curious to see how much oil was gonna come out, but I will be rejetting this bike in the future and really getting this thing dialed in, because this is way too much unburnt oil.
Oh yeah. No way. So that much unburnt oil just came out of there. They say to start it up too, and you can kind of blow out some of it. Just gassed out the shop. It's actually a pretty cool feature, because these are not designed to be repacked. So that is the goop that came out of the silencer.
Went ahead and changed the transmission oil as well, just to be safe. Even though it wasn't ridden that much, it has been sitting for a long time, and I'm glad that I did. This is one of those things that's cheap to do and can really prolong your clutch life and keep your gears shifting smooth for years to come.
Only the best for the new Steed. I'm gonna throw in some SAE 80. This is some good stuff. That's what I always ran in the KTM bikes, and pretty much all the two-strokes I've owned for that matter. It worked.
So I figured I'd throw this skid plate on since I have it.
Not a fan in the slightest, considering it offers no linkage protection. I guess I could jerry rig something, but I really want the SXS skid plate. The SXS plate is made out of the HDPE plastic, super thick, and it actually has wings that go up and guard the water pump as well. This really only offers frame protection. I guess the bottom case too, from rocks getting in there. But as you can see back there, that linkage is wide open for the bashing. So yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of SXS and collaborate for a bit. They are the only ones that make a skid plate that style for this bike. I normally support my boys over at Molecule Motorsports, really good people. But unfortunately, they don't make a skid plate for the KDX. Little conflict of interest there, but hey, just being honest. And it only has one more mount back here. Looks like, I think we have success. At least the engine will be safe, the expensive part. And one thing that I've yet to check, and probably the most important thing for a two-stroke, the air filter. And I honestly can't remember if I even checked this when I bought it. I'm assuming I did. And I hope it's not completely deteriorated. That would make me really upset. Holy snorkel. We'll be deleting that when we do the FMF. Uh-oh. Alright, the filter looks salvageable. Thank God. We're riding tomorrow, so don't have time to find and source one locally. Got a little bit of a mouse house in there. Ooh. Ooh. Well, hopefully they didn't eat the damn filter. That's the biggest concern. Some nasty stuff. Might have to pull this air box out and wash it. Damn. Take a look at that. Thankfully the filter is in good shape and Yeah, still crystal clean on the inside. Doesn't feel rotten too. Some of these old filters, you'll start just pulling the foam off. So I think I'll be able to clean and reuse this once. Yeah, I'm not going to pull the air box out. I can get most of this stuff out by hand, get the shop vac out, and then just polish it up with a rag. Got the air filter soaking in the twin air kit. This has been really nice to have. Small investment, but it makes this process really easy. Just has a little screen in the bottom that separates the dirt and just keeps that filter sitting on top of it. So I'm just letting the dirty portion soak for a little bit, and then I'm gonna massage it around and then rinse with soapy water, then clean water, and then let it dry. Unfortunately, the sun's not out today, so it's gonna take a little while to dry. Well, I should have trusted my gut. Sure enough, the glue failed when I used the cleaning solvent. The filter is holding on this side, but the problem is when I put the cage in, it's gonna leave a gap between the seal on the air box. Thought about trying to glue this back on. Maybe I'll give it a shot when it dries out. I shouldn't even have done this. The inside of it was super clean. It was still tacky, just had some crap on the outside. I knew better. Ease what it is. We'll make it work. Desperate times call for desperate measures. We'll see if this works. It says foam right on there, so hopefully it doesn't melt this. This hasn't come apart yet. I don't think it's got any bigger. I'm trying to be careful touching it, but I'm going to put a layer around that too, and hopefully that seals it up. We'll see how it goes. Hey, it ain't stupid if it works. Full cure in 24. We ain't gonna have 24. I'm gonna oil it in the morning and hopefully it holds. Man, you are not gonna believe this. It actually frickin' worked. And I think I trusted enough to run it. I don't see any gaps. I'm not going to mess with it too much. It looks pretty good to me. We're going to send it. All right. We salvaged the filter. Actually turned out pretty good. All the seams are closed up. I'm happy with that. So I don't even have to rush to the store to get one. I can just order it online and change it out the next time. Gonna load till like 1 in the morning. And yeah, it's going to be a long trip to Yellowbush. Am I the only one that feels like I can never get prepared on time, or the feeling that I'm always behind?
Like just pulling directly in that over there. Hi.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
Well, you guys, the week has begun.
We made it to Yellowbush.
We're at Yellowbush. Tilly got us hooked up with a prime spot. Almost got stuck on the way here, but had to air down. 2-wheel drive Chevy Express, let's go. And the Ohio River is right down here on the left. I cut in a little bit with the bush hog here. There's actually a beach down there. This is home for a week.
Well, you guys, that is going to wrap up this video of bringing the KDX200 out of retirement. This was supposed to be a chill weekend, but I did end up taking the KDX200 on some gnarly single track here at Yellowbush and did a proper break-in ride. I was still pretty under the weather, so I was riding the struggle bus, but we made it happen. Had a really good time. Loving the bike. The Yellowbush footage is coming pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Let me know if you're excited for the KDX200 being on the channel and just doing something different. I do get some sort of satisfaction knowing that I'm having just as much fun on a significantly cheaper bike. And other than the kickstart, there's really not much of a compromise because these things rip. So if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you watching. Can't wait to be getting out there more, doing more adventuring. But as always, be sure to live free and adventure daily.
Jeez, wrestling her.